Hello and welcome to day one, mark making. And in this lesson, we're going to dive more into the heart of mark making, where we discover the power of slowing down, letting go, and being fully present in the moment. And of course, this takes time. And mark making is more than just creating lines and shapes. It's about connecting deeply with your inner self and allowing your intuition to guide your hand. So by exploring and experimenting with various art tools and all of those items that you're going to find in your home, you will begin to build a repertoire of unique marks that are distinctly yours. And using the opposing hand, different pressures, directions, I go into all of that in this lesson, though it's the shortest video of the whole series. So as we dive in today's lessons, remember to embrace your mindset of curiosity and not just letting one mark be good enough, by really going and exploring and using playfulness and repetition. So let go of expectations and allow yourself to be open to the unexpected. So take your time, breathe deeply, sit quietly before you begin so you can start practicing listening to your intuition. And remember that the practice is not about perfection, but it's about expression and discovery. So gather your tools and set your intention, and let's begin this journey of mindful mark making together. So happy creating. Here are the flat brushes, 3 different sizes, a very thin brush for some fine line making, a regular brush. This is an awl, and I use it for many purposes, mostly for scraping through, though if you don't have an awl, you can use the back of any brush. I've also used knitting needles, screwdrivers, all sorts of other items. This is your fan brush. It's the long one, which is meant for canvases, and craft brush. And I really like it for to make really scratchy marks. Water-soluble graphite sticks, paint pens. I love to use Uniball. And of course, I would not be anywhere without my white and black China markers. I've discovered that the bamboo skewer can make a really interesting mark, regular pencil, and also the end of a very fresh pencil, as you can see, for repetitive circles when we get into our more pattern making on day 2. The Posca pens, white and black. The have a credit card or an old coffee card. Gift cards are awesome. I also like to use the brayer. It is a very versatile tool, and you'll want to start with a variety of papers. And using a variety of papers really can be advantageous in your simple mark making. This is a very thin, translucent paper from old encyclopedias, regular copy paper, some laser paper, and this is just drawing paper, like Crayola, a drawing pad, whatever you have access to. And of course, deli wrap paper. And so I usually begin with just simple marks. As you can see, I'm using the carpenter's pencil, and this is where you just want to explore every tool. And I know everyone has a different way, but you want to slow it down and just see what an opposing hand kind of mark would make, depending on the tool. This is water-soluble graphite, and I'm just dipping it in the water at the side there, but you could add a wash to it and really explore what each tool and mark you can get from those tools. So as I've shown previously, you want that variety of paper, and the transparent deli wrap paper is really important and a big part of this intuitive art process. So you can see just playing with different directions, different sizes. The fan brush is really fascinating with paint and ink, just going horizontal. The flat brush, you can just use this pattern and play with different values: white, black, gray, blues, etc. So here is me showing what you can do with the those gift cards or a credit card, using all the edges in different ways: horizontal, vertical, even diagonal. The small brayer I really love because it makes a fabulous mark when it only has a small amount of paint on it. The color shaper is one of my favorites. When you order them through Amazon, I think you get 4 different sizes. And I love how the color shaper, depending on the type of paper, glides and makes those marks. You also want to experiment with white paint. So you might want to just do white paint in one session, black paint in another session, mix them. There's so many ways to explore and play. When you are creating your collage papers as well, it's a great way to start learning what marks you love, that you resonate with, and building up your repertoire of mark making. So as you can see, I just want a few more of those. I want to see what tapping. Now I don't want to splash. And, yep. And just sort of play the acrylic inks. And I usually just use them directly from the ink jar with the dropper. And this one's a brown, and you can get some really, really cool Asemic writing. Really get those lines flowing. And I'm thinking blue would be so interesting, drawing through them. This is sort of like a brown. And right here I'm using a fine brush with India ink, exploring line, doing a little bit of repetition, but that's more in day 2 where we get into pattern play. Just exploring this color shaper and seeing what it can do. So after day 1, you will have quite a selection of papers to go through. Ones to keep that you really like, and ones for more layers that you will save for day 3. So I will see you in day 2. Happy creating.